Clownvergence, clownvergence. We're getting together to make the world better. Clownvergence, clownvergence. We'll make you laugh and play. We'll take your blues away.
So London Clown School was an idea really that it was a repeated idea for me because when it started, I think about 13 years ago. I'm not sure when I actually gave it that name. That was shortly after I'd returned to London from Barcelona, and in Barcelona we'd founded another clown school, the Barcelona Clown School. But I won't talk about that. But that was its precursor. Well, I will talk about it a little bit because the Barcelona Clown School the aim was a kind of multi-teacher set of courses, and the London Clown School has never had that ambition. It's a single teacher school, but there was a lot in common, and the main value behind it, or the main aim, is that it should be, and it's very simple, that it should be a set of training courses and workshops and opportunities absolutely dedicated to those who want to make clowning their priority. I mean, it shouldn't need saying, but I felt that the whole point of the clown school was that you focused on clowning. I mean, it sounds ridiculous, but that's because, you know, I know a lot of people who thought they were going to study clowning and ended up studying something else because they were told it was a clown school, and it wasn't. But seriously, the point was how to answer those simple questions. People who want to do clowning, how do you do it? How do you clown? How do you perform clowning? How do you create and perform clowning? Basically, that's it. But of course, and then what does that mean in practice? Well, over the years, you know, we've had a lot of different formats. When London Clown School started, it was evening classes. So you would come once a week for 2 hours, or 4 hours if you came to both classes. And that would run, actually when we started, it was just a continuous course. There was no end to it. And that ran for about 3 years, I think. And that was very interesting because people would just drop in and drop out and come back and not turn up or suddenly come back. So that just ran and ran and ran and ran, and it was quite exploratory. And then I decided, well, that's rather exhausting, and let's have fixed terms. So we had three-month evening class courses, and then also some weekend workshops. And then COVID came along, and it went online, and that was an amazing experience. Andrew, you mentioned that as well, and it was. I know some people at the time were reticent about going online with clowning, and it didn't have that kind of immediacy. But I thought, well, you know, if clowning is as wonderful as we keep saying it is, then surely it can overcome that obstacle. And actually, during that year and a bit, and it kind of went into the end of 2021 to 22, there was a lot more clowning going on for me, a lot more teaching going on than previously and since. So that was a real eye-opener. And again, that was, you know, come along for an hour or two a week kind of courses. And then since then, I've veered back to weekend courses a little bit, like I think it sounds a little bit similar. Like there's a program that's happening over the year. So there's at the moment there's a 7 workshop sequence, which you can actually do in any order, but you know, it's there if you want to follow through with that progression. And then there's a 3-week course, which is next month, for those who want to sort of book themselves into 3 weeks intensive into clowning. And the other thing, just briefly to say about all that, and it's always sort of been there, and at times more prominent than others, is the theory courses. So the history, theory and analysis of clown, which dates way back to the Barcelona Clown School as well. And just coincidentally, before COVID, I launched that as a course that people could come and be in a classroom and do it, but they could also do online. It was technologically hugely complicated, and I didn't know how to do it very well on YouTube and having all that. If you ever tried to have a hybrid class, it's very complicated, or at least it was in January 2020. And then, of course, COVID hit, and then, Zoom, what's that? So it went on Zoom, and it's been running since then. And I think, well, this is kind of jumping the gun, really, but what you said, Barnaby, about technological challenges, and that's an area that's really, really interesting for, and actually ideal. The online space is an ideal space for that kind of study. So that's the other part of it all. But yeah, so it's the whole point of the ethos of London Clown School is that you get to cover as much as possible within that question, or how do I do it? From very basic, finding out what clowning is for you, right up to creating an hour show or whatever it is you want to do.
There ain't no place I'd rather be. You're lighter than the sun and the stars to me. Everybody's family at the Clown Virgin.